So, going into my freshman year of college, I wasn't the most excited, you can say. Number one, I was going to college 18 hours away from home. Like, I was gonna have to make new friends, which as a non-people person, introvert, that will sit in class and not say a word to anyone, not even the teacher, till class is over, I was like, well, I'm cooked. Number two, I was in week 3 of just getting out of a relationship, thought I was fine, did therapy, it was whatever. Anyway, my beautiful college schedule that I was so graciously rewarded, I didn't get to make my own schedule like everyone said I was. But Monday was my small group communication class, which was basically a scheduled side quest where you had to listen to a yap session for an hour with no phone, no nothing. So I have found an easy method to get through this class. Basically, I would put an AirPod in, just tune everything out. Now, like I said, this was a small group communication class. So after we got put into our small groups, sometimes I had to talk to them and I didn't want to. I don't know, talking to people I ain't know was already a no-no, and I don't know, it felt like such a chore just to communicate with other humans. Anyway, our group sat in like the right corner of the room, so I would keep my right AirPod in my ear so the teacher couldn't see my AirPod, and my hair covered it anyway, but like I got through this class by using just my old high school techniques, you feel me? So on Tuesdays, I had my foundation drawing and math class. Now, my drawing class would have been amazing because like I'm an artist, it just makes sense, but it was a 7:30 a.m. class, and my dorm building was a 25-minute walk from the art building, and if you're tardy it adds up to an absence, and 4 absences mean you instant fail. So basically I had to wake up earlier than I did in high school to go to this class, bro, which pissed me off hella. And I was so pleasantly surprised that drawing classes in college was like going straight into a ranked lobby. Like I'm over here doodling in my notebook with my cartoony ass little anime style, and then the dude next to me is drawing a one-on-one self-portrait of himself with a chunk of charcoal. Like what? And then there's a difference between liking to draw and doing 27 assignments of drawing a random object 86 with my charcoal pen for 2 hours. And this class was from 7:30 to 10:15. So right after this class at 10:30, I had my math class. Now luckily the walk to the business building where my math class was, if timed right, was like a 10-minute walk, which would get me to my math class right when I needed to be there. Now Tuesdays for my math class was group work days. So basically I would sit there in silence or do the work by myself to the very end of class and then ask whoever I was sitting with or who was in my groups for the answers, because the whole group had to get their papers checked off by one of the student teachers, and this was like one of those 100+ people classes. So the class was split into sections, and each section had a different student teacher that would do attendance and check the papers and whatnot. Now I usually hate math classes because like I suck at math, but this class was calm because it was mostly group work and online things that weren't, you know, too hard. Now for Wednesdays, I had my art experience in another small group comm class. Now this art experience class was low-key tough. Like not only was all the work we had to do for this class usually some like goofy art project shit, but the class most of the time was at the art museum, and the art museum ASU was so tough. Like I just like the aesthetic of the place. But anyway, once a month this class is also a lecture, which is basically just these monthly yap sessions I have to go to, and they're pretty long, so I usually just like sleep or like I don't know, dissociate the entire time. Thursday is my most busy days, man. I had my foundation drawing class, my math class, and intro to digital media. Now after my drawing class and my math class, my social battery would be already like fried as hell. So the fact that I had a third class that was almost 3 hours long, it was just like the last thing I was looking forward to. And in this class, our professor basically taught us how to use like Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, just like basic digital media shit, right? Funny thing is, I took multiple digital media classes in high school and I already knew how to use all the things he was teaching. So basically this class was the longest waste of time ever, bro. Like I'd rather do mindless work like him teaching us how to use the lasso tool than any other class, but like still listening to him explain how to do the most basic level of shit on these programs I'm pretty sure any artist ever has used once was like the equivalent of teaching a human how to eat food. So having this class to end off my day was like hell. Dad had me at my grown age of 18 years old staring at the clock like, when am I gonna get out of here, bro? Now on Fridays I just had my English class, and it wasn't like super early either, low-key a breath of fresh air from Thursday, and it's just English, so it's like very calm, just, you know, writing essays, etc, hella easy. Now like most of you guys know, I'm from Texas, and into going to school in Arizona, everyone's like, yeah, it may say 128 degrees outside, but like it doesn't feel like that. Basically being like, oh, 98 in Texas is only so hot because it's so humid. So I got to Arizona expecting this dry heat everyone was talking about to be hella calm. It was not. It being 112 every day was just like, the best thing ever actually. And it only rained 2 times while I was there, on the first day of classes and then like a month later for 7 minutes. But enough about the cons, okay? Let me talk about what I liked about my freshman semester of college. So my dorm itself was set up with like a little living room, 2 rooms, and a bathroom. Now each room would have had 2 people, making me have to share the place with 3 people, but fate chose a different path for me, and my roommate never showed up. Like, he just never came for some reason. So it ended up just being us 3, and I got my whole room to myself. And no, that doesn't mean I was in there guarding it. I just needed my alone time and my own personal space. So I turned the extra bed into a drawing table for my drawing class projects, and the other desk in the room, I put a microwave on it. And dorm life was very cool, very interesting. There was this one group of kids who lived a floor under me, and they were always outside hanging out, vibing at nighttime and stuff. In this group, there was this one black guy. Everyone else was white, so he stood out, right? And he also had black and blonde 2-strand twists, just like someone you know. So every time I would be out and about, they'd be shouting this dude's name at me, and I would just look at him like, Now I only saw this dude for like 5 seconds, maybe 2 or 3 times, and we looked nothing alike, but like we had the same hair. So from behind and from afar, I understood his people mistaking me for him. But like by week 3 of this happening, I was just like, now, food-wise, I was like every other college student. I would eat nothing but straight junk, and I can cook a few things, but not at college. I had no kitchen, and the options to cook was using a mini air fryer. I'm pretty sure it wasn't even allowed in our dorms, and a sink and a counter they called a kitchen in one of our rec rooms in my dorm building. But anyway, when I did have to leave my dorm to go grocery shopping, I would usually leave my cart looking something like this. And I would be buying whole jugs of green Hawaiian punch, Minute Maid fruit punch, and Simply Pink lemonade, all for myself, of course. And I ain't have cups or none either, so I would just reach over to my mini fridge and drink them hoes straight out of the jug. Like, I was. And besides living off snacks and Chick-fil-A, there was like this little market type place in front of my dorm building and the other dorm buildings around in our section on campus. And it had the pod market, some fast food and breakfast places, etc. Basically the most convenient shit a college student could have access to, right? So there was this one place, a sacred place, a place that kept me alive. This perfect place of happiness and hope and joy and whimsy was this little Asian spot in the corner called Osaka Grill. Now, when I first went there out of boredom, I was just a little hungry. I had no clue what I was walking into, what this place would mean to me, you feel me? And when I first ordered, I acquired 3 things: chicken fried rice, orange chicken that came with rice and broccoli, and shrimp tempura, all for like $30-something, which is a pretty good deal because all these came in massive serving sizes, like take me multiple days to eat serving sizes. And also it came in those like great value thank you bags, so you knew it was gonna be good. So I ended up getting this multiple times throughout the week regularly, along with Chick-fil-A for lunch between classes, and going to the pod market 3 to 4 times, getting candy of some kind, devouring it. Yes, I know I was very unhealthy. Anyway, now to balance it out, I definitely had to go to the gym on campus, which was definitely an upgrade from Planet Fitness, but like I was super inconsistent in the gym. My drive for it was weirdly low, but when I went, it was most definitely another ranked lobby I was not prepared for. Now, by October, I had everything down to a T. The perfect walking path from my dorm to get to all my classes on time. I knew where to get food and groceries. I did my laundry in the middle of the night, so I wouldn't have to wait on people. And I'd go to the gym when I felt like it. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I had 0 friends. Like, I talked to people in my classes rarely if the situation called for it, but like, I was hell-bent on isolating myself. Like, I was going through shit I didn't understand or want to deal with, so I thought everything was fine. Everything felt fine. Like, I love spending time with myself, and since I didn't go anywhere besides class and Walmart, I spent most of the time talking to myself, living my head at all times. Probably said about 200 words in my head for every 3 words I said out loud. Shit was crazy, but I was good, I had myself, I had music. No, listen, girl. I swear to God, Gabe is messing around behind my back. Girl, no, he's not. But everything was not fine. My college experience at this point felt like a draining battle against my own will. And me and my ex were going on and off, no contact. It was month 2, and I could barely get myself out of bed for class. I just didn't feel right. Like, something was wrong, and I could finally admit that, like, something was wrong. My sleep schedule at this point consisted of staying up all night, going to my 7 a.m. class, getting back to my dorm around 12 p.m. after both my classes, and I would slump into bed, sleep for 8 hours, wake up around 8 8 to 9 p.m., go get some food. I didn't have anything in my dorm I felt like even eating in the first place, and then go back to my dorm and animate and repeat. I was basically nocturnal, and this went on for weeks, bro. Like, I just kept it pushing, you know. I knew I wasn't dealing with my feelings, everything that happened between me and my ex, but I felt like I couldn't deal with them. Like, it felt like the freshman college life was more than enough to distract me from all that, but it wasn't. This breakup was weighing on me through everything, bro. Like, just a few months ago we were together and madly in love, and now I'm here in a different state, in a different place, without her, without anyone. So I kept myself isolated because I thought I would push through this and things would change and my mental would get better, but it didn't. I felt stuck, like the real world was a fake place. But I did have one thing: you guys. YouTube, animating, drawing, creating, that was my outlet. And the spark inside of me that pushes me to work as hard as I do on YouTube, it was still burning. I was just learning how to adjust to life without someone who added so much fuel to that spark. But that isn't what this video is about. It's not about her, it's not about our relationship, it's about me, and me learning that going at things all alone wasn't the only option. I thought because I'd survived all my worst days alone, I could survive them all alone. I was very wrong, because there's a difference between enjoying your own company and suffering your own solitude. You feel me? So in the early days of December, I decided I was done. Like, done. So after one semester, yes, one semester, I left my college. Now, it wasn't all bad, you know, I just don't think it was a place for me. But 10K likes and I'll make another vid about some funny shit that happened at college. This is low-key the college experience. It's 2 in the morning. I'm walking back from Domino's. You already know what it is.